so that I can make that presentation at a regular meeting. But it's entirely up to you guys if I need to do a workaround or call a special meeting so that all three of you can be good when you do it. But it's not required, it's my preference from the party.
I'm not sure, we just always open in the regular meeting, so I don't know.
When we did the sewer project, I think we did it during the day. But as it is-
I thought we opened it
We
here.
open them as regular
Maybe
meetings.
that's how it is, you know.
Some communities do.
I prefer to have it here.
Yeah, we just open them here and then, we can always look at it, make sure they're in line, and then we can have another special meeting.
Call a special meeting for
Public meeting within a short time.
Yeah, because that won't take but 3 or 4 days to go through it, make all the guys without any teeth or claws.
I'd rather open them.
Okay, so then we'll plan accordingly. I will need, Pam, I will need access, to do a pre-bid meeting where we invite all the bidders to come in. We got a 3 or 4 page agenda that I gotta go through, and then we'll invite them out to walk around, look around, but that would be something that, so that you can get access to the center during the day. Okay, I'll put together a timeline, email it to Pam, we copy it through, look at it, and if there's any conflicts, let me know on that. The meters that you messaged me about, were they failing?
We had a meeting, we had a meeting with them about meters.
Okay.
And they came in Friday. Jeff and Brad went around with the gentleman, he brought 9 meters, correct, to change out the ones that were
I think we ended up doing 13.
13, okay. So we had a meeting with them, they came in, they did some more training. So we are, maybe Jeff's gonna update us during his time frame, but I think we're more on track now, correct?
We'll see if it works.
What? Failing.
So a lot of the meters weren't reading, water was passing through them, but they just weren't reading. Matt from Midwest thinks it's something to do with the magnets that's in the meter base. So we changed almost 40 of those. So we're hoping that corrects the problem. If it's not, we're gonna have to keep working it and find out what the issue is.
Are those set up where you can look at them pretty much anytime and see if the registering off?
Did you say 40?
Yes.
I do.
I don't know. Okay. I guess I'll call him too and see what, if we need to be proactive and get them swapped out. Even the ones that aren't-
He did talk about it.
I mean, even the ones that have failed.
Well, as they fell, we changed them. Right
He
now.
brought us new ones, correct?
Yeah, we have 30 new ones
No
in the
cost.
shop.
You got 30?
We have 30 new ones in our shop right now, yeah.
But it sounds like we've had multiple fails.
Oh, we have.
It almost feels like there's a problem with them, all of them.
It raises concern, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But it did,
it's been a big concern.
Yes.
It's been nothing but a pain.
That's good. Yeah, well, we can do the conference call. You said it was Friday, isn't it?
We came Friday, we met with them, and then he went with Jeff and Brad, and then Josh went with Pam and Tracy for some other questions that they had.
Just hold on. So Pam, with the billing and reading the meters, any other concerns or questions associated with that? or-
No, the biggest problem we were having were several meters were reading zeros. And so we would, we were going from them the bill.
Yeah.
For each of those meters that were reading zero. So if they got that fixed, then we'll know that the 18th this week,
Okay.
see how those reads come over.
I'd be curious to see on those ones, how the readings compare to historical.
Right.
bills.
But again, especially all the customers will know they're gonna probably get a more accurate water bill.
since they just installed the meters, I don't know how that reading's gonna reflect on the
Yeah,
flat. That's just a read that have accurate measurements, so I don't know.
But you'll be able to see that those meters are reading.
Right.
Okay.
Friday. I'm not sure.
Mine's still not reading, I don't know, I just looked.
What's your address?
209.
I will look at it for you.
No problem.
Yeah, a couple other things, sorry. We put in the item permit for that surgery line system, so if I get it before the end of August, those things are good for me. So depending on your timing.
I think we're gonna try to get on it as quick as possible before we have it done, ready by the end of the year.
So, yeah, the shop permit and all this stuff, so, you know, I can like,
Well, are you going to, look for funding for us for that, or is that something that we are going to do on our own?
yeah, I can look into it, and I'll put somebody in contact with you. From his team, last month. And then if you get the backhoe stuff, what you want.
Yeah, Jeff, you know, basically, biosolids analysis has been completed. You have a contract with the landfill. One thing we need to look for is what your disposal costs are going to be. That's an annual fee to come pick up the dumpster, dump it off, and then back accordingly.
I think we got some estimates from the bad guys, but I guess I just want to make sure the landfill did their testing and you could go.
Landfill's good to go. They had a rate on there of what they're gonna charge us per ton.
So it's
So,
basically hauling fees.
Yeah.
Have somebody pick it up and haul it. The other thing we worked with is, we came out here and met with the electrician on what it's going to take to basically wire the building, set up the pumps accordingly. The existing connection for the three-phase pump was going down into the sludge tank. What's going to do, put a remote on there. I think you have a price on that as well. And then we did review the Somerset facility that has a similar to what you guys are looking at, and their pad's a little bit wider, and it's much needed, and that's why Blue River was recommending a little bit wider pad for the concrete as well. So I think we're getting an updated price on that from the guys local contractor for the installation on that.
Yeah, you just, you don't want to do bare bones minimum because those well off guys. It's easy to look at. So we wanna make sure. Okra awarded your partner. My client here put together a timeline for you guys, and I'll leave it with Pam. She can make copies for you. But, obtaining signatures internally with those guys, Okra, is about a 3 to 4 week process. So Mike's got that, should be wrapped up by the end of July.
And I think he sent you the contract you signed tonight, right?
Well, it's electronic signature.
Okay.
They'll vote on it.
They'll vote on it, yes.
Once it makes its rounds internally at Okra, you'll get what they call release of funds. And that's basically Okra's way to tell you you got your money, it's official, go get it done. So Mike's anticipating, advertising late August, first week-ish of September, opening bids before the end of September so that we can be in line for approval at your council meeting in October, okay? Based on what we just talked about with the water project, the the dates for Okra, they just want you to open bids before January 8th. So if you want to time the park out, push it back a couple weeks so that we time opening bids at a council meeting, like your September council meeting, for example. But that would be the schedule on that stuff. From our end, what I was planning on doing is sending you guys out a link to the plans and specs on or before the end of next week. Give you a couple, 3 weeks to start looking at it before we get the green light to go up there. That way you guys can have time to make comments or if that's the change with it. So that's kind of our approach on that.
Well, do the, Okra, is the Okra grant funded the same way as USDA and hold the funds until we receive the invoice and then we release the funds to cover the invoices?
Yes. So Mike will work with you as part of what his contract is as the grant administrator. But if you remember on the wastewater project, we would come to your meeting and the contractor would have a request for partial payment. Procedurally, it'll be the same. We'll make that presentation, tell you we agree or don't agree. You guys will vote on it, and then once it's approved by you guys, it goes to Mike and he'll work from there.
All right, do we need to have a separate fund for that?
I don't
Or can we
believe-
just have a,
I don't think that, I will confirm, but I don't think that's quite like RD as far as having a dedicated project bank account for Oakland.
Okay, so we need to vote on accepting the grant from the community development block.
Yeah, I might as well go ahead and memorialize it. As a reminder, it was, here's the letter. I was just saying, a copy of this. It's 500,000 total. The grant administration, the grant administration fees come out of that $500,000 grant.
All right, so I'll make a motion to accept the Okra Office of Community and Rural Affairs Community Block Development Grant, number ST-25-101 for a total of $500,000. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Now Pam, this letter does say in the middle, a state registered bank account, but I don't know what that, how that works. So,
I'll check on it. Let you know, then.
okay, thank
and
you.
then you'll get an email to DocuSign the grant agreement. Did you get that already?
She's got it, she's gonna forward it to me to sign.
Is that different than Mike's contract?
Yes,
Okay, all right. Perfect.
If there's anything I need to sign here, I can.
Hey, sounds like it's all at fine.
I will check my email in the morning, then.
You send it to me?
What she
Yes,
said.
So she wasn't gonna, I think she said she was gonna wait till
She did.
With that, park project's coming up. Does Tower do a ribbon cutting?
For the park project?
For the park project,
that'd be a groundbreaking.
or groundbreaking, excuse me.
I mean, sure, why not?
I think it pulled the town in, I think it'd be a huge one for you.
On the park committee?
Yes.
There'll be some good publicity. Our marketing person will work with.
And she's excellent. You're gonna love what she does with the video and everything else. That's good.
Well, also, the bridge. We closed it for now, based on the report we got.
Okay.
Basically, we want to say what the report said, supporting what I read.
That's how I do it.
So, as soon as I got the report, I just called Jeff and said, just block it. We'll try to figure out what to do from there. Doesn't make sense to try to shore it up now, to use it. As opposed to
That report, I'm trying to remember that report, because I can get some recommendations from.
It gave-
Structural.
It gave recommendations on the shoring it.
Well, I was thinking more of some specialty contractors that do that, that we could at least reach out to.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, that's just, we gotta have them come out, look at it. And give us a number, right?
Yeah. I mean, sure, I hate to lose it, but,
Grant.
we had to close just to, someone will get hurt.
I understand, I agree with you, so. Okay. I'll go and see the solutions and get some names, or some questions, and we'll decide if we want to pass it to them, based off their assessment, we can do that. Okay. And then two more frame copies of the figure, the figure.
Love it, it's one for Wendy, for you to take the different presentations where you're asking for money or for the park, and then one to have here at town hall, not enough for you, Wendy?
Yeah, and then
And
we
maybe
can get,
we can print out something.
yeah, and then whatever hearing we need to, have something on what's name, but.
I can get it, I thought we had asked what file type, and the bunch of PDF would be fine, but if it needs to be a certain file type, then whatever you use.
I'm sorry that I haven't been involved in the
Well, I just think that if we
communication on
can
that, so I'm not sure what it's gonna ask for and what's gonna ask, I don't know. But yeah, if we could get to like that, for right now, that would be great, if we had one here, and then like I said, when we have our events, we can put it out.
Would you want, before that move on, would you want to check it?
A little bit update on the DNR program. That would be another huge for your next step of the park. Our hearing is every 2 years instead of, so this is the off year. So that would be something for you guys to work through and then start focusing on that DNR for future projects that you think may be in the park.
So when we initially worked on the DNR projects,
It wasn't even after.
yeah, but I thought we were working towards that, so you don't
Yes.
have any of the, you don't have any of the first steps done.
We got the baseline information.
That's what I thought,
Yes.
so we at least are at the,
Yeah, we'll have to fill out the application,
Yes.
have them review everything. It's gonna be a little bit more lengthier process than what you're doing with Oprah, with the Stellar.
It'll be longer.
Yeah.
Seems like it's super long.
No, it can't be longer, yeah. But, and then, there are some, matching fund grants that, for smaller projects, you guys be looking at, you can take a look at as well.
That's something we do have a question on as the park board. We've heard different things, so with the Oprah grant, can we pursue other grants before the Oprah grant is closed out, or do we have to wait until the Oprah grant is closed out before we pursue additional grants?
I think you start doing the groundwork for, the next level of, grant funding that we wanna work through.
What does
I
that
think
mean?
you asked that question to Mike when he was on one of our calls, and I don't think you can pursue another Okra grant while
I
this
just
one
wanted to
is
clarify,
open.
because we've been talking about, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine, you wanna double check this with Mike, but I don't think you can pursue another Okra grant while one is open. But other non-Okra grant programs, I believe he indicated you can.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's what we kind of thought, I just wanted to get clarification on what that meant, but
Sure.
it's any grant that's not an Oprah.
Yeah, it's
Community
a,
Foundation or Walmart or anything that's not Okra, it would be spent on a different project. Even if it's a park project, but it's next phase or a different item.
Like a pavilion or bridge or something like that.
yeah, those big ticket items, yes.
I was just gonna say that, same thing, it just, we gotta make sure it doesn't go into something that Okra's paying for.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for the clarification, because we were just, I remember we talked about that, but we've talked about it since as a group, and we're all kind of, we were just not really for sure what was acceptable.
Next week?
I'm gonna mail those.
I'll pick it up next week. That'll work.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question to Commonwealth? When you work on the groundbreaking and ribbon cutting, can you have your team reach out to Grow Wabash County so that the work can be more local as well and we can get some commissioners and maybe even
Absolutely.
those who can have.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some state.
That's something we want to say, local representation, not only in the town, but,
As a county.
Actually, still have a milk row in
Yes.
out, so. Used to be able to take up now, we haven't been sure about how.
Okay.
Okay,
I just wanted to keep it.
but he's the one that was running.
Okay. Thank you, Rob. Chris. Matt?
For June, my numbers are a little skewed because I took some time off in June. But I had 18 calls for service, 24 traffic stops, 4 ordinance issues. I did a crash report. And then I wanted to ask you guys, Nikki and I had talked about getting a reduced speed sign put up on Main Street for coming up to Branson Street, or the bridge around Branson Street. I know we had talked about signage before. It got brought up that maybe the board needed to vote on putting the sign up. So I'd already talked to Jeff about it. I just wanted to make sure we didn't need your guys' approval before we put that sign up. So
I think you want to check with Jordan, but I think as long as it's not anything that is a speed limit or anything like that, then it's just an informational sign. I don't think we need to.
gotcha.
But that would be a Jordan question.
Okay.
Before he would need to know exactly what the sign is.
Yeah, it would be reduce speed ahead would be what the sign would say. So, okay. And then I noticed that when you're heading west on Branson Street, there's a 20-mile-an-hour sign, but when you're heading east, there isn't. So I got with Jeff about putting another sign up here. Is that something that we need to vote on since it is a speed sign, then you think?
I mean,
It's in the ordinance that it's 20, but it's just only posted on one side. So,
no, it's there. It's good. You probably should have had a sign. It's probably
It should.
somehow got knocked down.
Yeah.
Whatever. That will.
yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Tom is not here. We did have our fire board meeting last, couple weeks ago, week and a half or 2 weeks ago. We had voted on the budget, it's not gonna change. Everything, they did get, how many new members? 9?
It's up to 20.
They're up to the low 20s, so we recruited some help, so it's good. So if anybody else is interested, we'll contact the Township Fire Department, contact office.
Okay, the town had our water loss audit. We were above 25% in the past. We're down to 16% now. But we still had a question on how much water was being taken off the hydrant by the well house. So we have installed a camera out there that monitors that 24/7. We also have cameras out at the brush pile now for whoever was illegally dumping out there. Matt talked about the reduced speed sign ahead. I have got those ordered, so as soon as they come in, we'll be putting those up on Main Street.
Just after you put it with Jordan.
Okay,
I'm sure we don't need to vote on it.
I'll send him an email. And then I will be traveling to Indianapolis or south of Indianapolis next month for graduation for the apprenticeship on the water side of things. I started the wastewater side of things actually last week, so hopefully in another year and a half I'll be licensed in the wastewater. As Chris said earlier, we got our contract for the geobag, so now we have somewhere to send our waste once we produce it. So that's about all I have.
Congratulations on the water and look you, Brad, on your newest pressures. So thank you. Park.
We still have an open park board, member. Just reminding everyone, Dept to be a resident in town, but anyone that's willing to come and join us would be great. We had our July 3rd event, we raised some money at that. The scoreboard that Gary got, Southwood is being installed, and I believe he had a connection through somebody and it's getting installed at no cost.
Oh.
And then, we were able to purchase a park community sign that You know those signs that have like the arrow and, oh, speak of the devil. You put the little letters on them, you put up by the highway, like if we're having an event in town. We were able to find one of those, in Gary, and he cooked his son picked it up. And he's fixing it up now, he'll tell you about it.
Sign.
Yep, and he is working on still getting fence quotes, and what's gonna be used that in case we're not able to put that in with the Oprah funding. And that's about it. So, here, if there's anything else, I talked about the scoreboard being installed,
We
and then a
just
sign that we got.
preached today, and we'll be back Wednesday with the wiring. And the bleachers on this side are done. Tomorrow we'll do the bleachers on the other side, and they'll be done. Got another quote in on the home run fence. And then also we moved it back there to 200 feet instead of 185. So I gotta go back and look at the quotes again. 'Cause I guess Rowan has to be 200 feet up, so you can go 200 feet all the way around except for the tree. Going down the tree line, we can log, we got about 195. Got no one. So, other than that, I had one other thing that we need to look into. I was at the courthouse the other day and was getting where the marker was, where the tree is, where it is as far as how far back we can go. And what I ran into is we've been talking about that lot across the stream. According to their lines, we own 50 feet. We own the whole ditch on that side and 50 feet over in her property where the green things are. 8 feet, I think it was, from the buildings. So that's something we actually need to, 7.9 feet from the building around this. So it's something you check into. There's the ditch. There's your buildings. You own 8 feet. This side. That's where the line runs for our property.
Is that based, or
We're based on their map. Because she had this up, I was trying to figure out how far back here, and she pulled this up, and I said, what's this go along? She said, it's your property. I said, we don't own what's in the ditch. She said, yes, you do. There's something you need to check out in that. You know, she doesn't want another view of it. So we got a baseball parking lot.
well, are these my copies?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only one.
I'll send it to Jordan, having a little
Yeah,
research on that.
that was good news. I heard that. Because she's gonna demolish his building anyway. Other than that, that's all I got. He's going back Wednesday night, run all the cable, the wiring and everything for the scoreboard. And then I gotta get with Dept and see when it's a good time for him to pick the scoreboard up and set it on the brackets and stick the bolts through it. And they're always 135 pounds. It's got to go up on the brackets. So it's not hard to lift.
Any lights?
So, hold on. We have the rendering that Tom has been working with Erica, or the team has been working with Erica, that we wanted to present to you guys. We intentionally did not make copies because it's not final. So, this way,
I don't know about it.
this is the mural, if you approve. We love it, but we needed to present it.
Yeah, so there's several, obviously, different components of it, trying to getting all of the history of the town, which is a little difficult because there's lots of stuff. And so we've worked with the history club, and so talked to several different persons in the town. So, you know, gas station, and if you look at those are headphones for Emory. That was one of the first things, like, what's that?
Gas station.
Gas station, the old school, Ashland, Freeman, and those are so called as, so arrowhead for the Indian area, the interurban churches, the Troyer Corn up in the corner, we have the with Local Blossom, the Gavel for Judge Golf. This is an American flag for America. Part of what we can. So lots of stuff. We'll have a guide. Here's what the stuff is.
We'll make it fun. We'll implement some sort of a program of a family, you know, what is it? We have built out a marketing plan as to how we'll deliver this and what will be available. But first, we wanted to introduce it to you guys and just off the cuff, what do you think?
Can you all see it?
Can you turn it?
Well, now we'll turn it
Turn it
around.
to the camera and,
No. So this would go on the community building. Oh, no.
No, the
No.
community building is a maintenance building. Town maintenance building. Utility building, yeah, that one.
But it won't go on the building itself because we've run into a hiccup.
Yeah, so it'll actually be set, it'll actually be set on a frame, and then signboard will be put on the frame that actually will sit out from the building. That will allow it to be. So,
Any final thoughts?
agree and approve, then we'll.
I'll make a motion to approve, the mural. On favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Yeah, it's like-
Yeah. Display it out here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I can get it printed. I'll print it on a bead board and that way it's a permanent kind of more sturdy. Why isn't this out? Oh.
What
is it?
Two
Put it up there if
binder
you want to.
clips.
You can do it after the meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. Next.
You should have a packet with
Yes.
seal entries. We had 7 different ones. They were all very good, and that was a case of we have no idea what the town was really looking for. So the answer is we just kind of brought them all here and said, is there any of them that just jump out and say, oh, that's the one that we want to have? Or do we say, well, no, there's a couple of them that we think some of those would be good, and we want to involve the town with some sort of voting process. Don't know quite what the process was going to be, but here's the ones that we got, and you have, and we can, we'll read them. So you've got these all copies that we've got. That one there's that way. We didn't make these anonymous, so there's no names on these. Very simple. So they range so widely, it was not like we could, yeah. Like what are you looking for? They got 7 different entries, and this
So I know
one is.
we got these in the email earlier this week. We all went through them. I think when we got here, we pulled out the ones we liked, and I think we all pretty much pulled out the same few.
Okay.
So just thinking maybe, we could somehow put these on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I can build a survey so that people can vote for 1 and 2, and then maybe have something here at the time, so people who don't want to use it on the internet can come in and we'll have a little voting box, and then from there you can take it under advisement and
Yeah.
then decide whichever way
Like
that you. If there's a clear winner, if they come back with a both tied,
Aye.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to guess.
That way the community's involved.
Yeah, but this one, I did do a little bit of checking, the date is 1880, not 1873, so that one would
Yeah.
be changed. It says incorporated 1873, it's actually 1880.
Yeah,
Other than that, everything
we'll,
was good.
we'll reach out to the person who put that together and see if we can get that updated.
But that's kind of how I was thinking, and let the community help us pick it.
Okay.
And also that black one, which says Final Fountain, like the script, black lettering.
Yeah, I get that.
I thought that'd be cool for like a letterhead or something. We have on our letterhead,
Just very simple.
Yeah, so
I like that
you
for,
can use all of these were obviously things that came from the community, so you can utilize them however you want to.
yeah, I think that'd be cool for like a letterhead.
Well, letterhead with the seal.
Yeah. Letterhead and then seal on the side, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will put together the, survey and let's do the July, November 6 and number 3. Okay,
And then
get that put together and
Tracy can, or whoever can put it on
you wanna let that run till the end of the month? How long you wanna let it run? I mean, give people an adequate amount of time and then your next.
the end of the month, that way the next meeting, we have a decision made.
Okay. And maybe the first week in August, so that you got a little bit of time. We got a full month. We can do it.
Okay.
All good.
Sounds good, sounds good. When do we need to do a street
Yes,
closing?
for Saturday, August 1st, for doing a fire safety program with the National Fire Department and the Lions Club, so we need Main Street from Kendall to the alley, closed from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just between the church and the library.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'm gonna mention that we approved for August 1st, the closure of Main Street to the alley between Kendall and the alley church. and library. I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Clerk's report.
All banks are reconciled in balance. Jeff's wages in amount of $15,292.47 were submitted to Alliance for reimbursement, and I do believe that'll be our last reimbursement for him. As the Keystone software has become very expensive, Tracy and I have had a conference call with the Fry Company to learn about their accounting software. We are just trying to see what's available on the market. Keystone is just outrageous in what they're charging, and the new system that they're offering is going to cost us anywhere from $75,000 to $90,000 to even get the software, to get it put into our systems. It's just crazy expensive. So we're just trying to see what's available on the market to see if we can find something that is reputable that other clerks have used, and Fry, the name Fry just keeps coming up. So we talked with them, and they're going to come give us actually it's a conference call, give us a demonstration on their utilities and funding, and so we can get a feel for how it works. They didn't give me a quote, but they said that they are about 60% cheaper than Keystone. So just, we're just seeing what's available at this point. I have a conference call on the July 22nd with our DLGF rep to go over our numbers for the 2027 budget. The call's from 10:30 to 11:30. Any council members are welcome to sit in on the call if you'd like to. We do have a budget meeting scheduled for July 30th at 4:30, so hopefully I'll have all the information from the state as to what we might be looking at for our numbers. The public hearing for the budget is set for August 30th at 4:30. and the budget adoption is set for October 22nd at 4:30. And that's all I have.
Hang on, so what day in August?
August. The public hearing for the budget is September 30th. I'm sorry, September 30th.
I just wanna make sure I already have them on my calendar.
I'm sorry, I
Well,
misspoke.
August 30th was a Sunday, so.
The
All right, so
and
that's
then
that
the
one,
adoption
October
is
is,
22nd of October at 4:30. Sorry.
yeah, I got that one too. All right, yeah, we can do that.
July 30th, we may, have enough numbers that we can actually go through the appropriations, so.
Make a recommendation to those for approval of $44,440.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
We have 11 pool fills, the, total 567.15.
I make a motion to adjust to five full fills for $566. Without a house. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
The next one is a credit for a customer that had paid with their credit card. There again is that lag time between the time we send the letters out and the time PayGov posts that payment. So we need to credit that customer $50, who was charged a reconnect $50 fee.
I'm going to approve $50 credit to account 2278117 for 43.3.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And the next account is an account that the meter malfunctioned and actually did not even produce a minimum bill for the customer. We just happened to catch it, and so we need to double the customer's account for $74.35.
Make a motion to debit account 1011301 for $74.35 for the general function.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Anyone else? Okay. No old business? New business?
We did have a meeting with some representatives from Beacon. Each month, the money that we have in Beacon acquires some, not actual cash, but ones like us, I would say, that we could, that really want to table and don't use. It's points that we could use for other services that we're not using. And one of them is positive pay, where when we write a check in fund, we upload a spreadsheet to Beacon each day, and they only pay the checks that we've uploaded to them. If a check would come through and we haven't authorized that, then they don't cash those checks. So it's just a preventative measure for longer checks or something like that. It seems like a pretty straightforward. I have mixed messages. I called Keystone and asked about the module for that. And the module, just to get it set up, is $900, and it adds $560 a year to our license. However, some clerks, I reached out to the listserv, and some clerks who have used it for quite a while said they never used anything in Keystone. So I need to talk to the Beacon representatives and see which way we need to go with that.
Maybe they just use Excel or something?
Well, when we met with Bonnie, she indicated you just run, like you send her an email of all, or they send their department an email of all the checks you've written, and then they check that email daily to make sure it matches up, so that they're
Well,
not.
it goes into an object file, it's not just an email.
Right, but I mean, but yeah, you basically were emailing it to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it coordinates with the Keystone system or anything.
I don't think it has to though.
I don't know if it has to or not. I really don't know about. I need to investigate that before we make a a decision about it, but I see nothing but positive for it. So, and they're also, going to come talk with us about maybe getting a, credit card processing machine in the office. Customers come in and pay their bills, and we have to, first of all, look up their account and key in all their information. It takes a long time, it takes some time. And, would be great if they could just come in and swipe their card. So they're gonna come talk with us about that. That would be a great asset to have, I think.
There's Benedict. Well,
Yeah, I'm just requesting, I thought the current animal ordinance said that we can only have hens, so I'm requesting rabbits and quail.
Matt looked it up and it says,
Yeah, so I actually just read it, so, it shall be unlawful for any person to keep or maintain or allow to be kept or maintain any cow, horse, donkey, mule, pig, goat, sheep, goose, rooster, duck, turkey, guinea, more than one rabbit. So that's how that reads. It says you can only have one rabbit, and it doesn't specifically list a quail at all in that ordinance, so.
sounds like it was, if you're able to, I guess it becomes an issue with, I don't know, I don't, look at the picture of the whale, I honestly don't know much about them, but they look pretty small.
Yeah, my main thing is just that some people, quails require less space, they're less noisy, they start laying eggs earlier, and they can also be seed producers. And then in regards to the rabbit, they don't make noise, they breed from meat quickly. And then, but obviously you would need more than one, you said you can only have one rabbit.
That's what the ordinance reads.
Yeah.
That's what I just, yes, just update the ordinance, just say you can't have quail, you can't have more than one rabbit, or just put a set limit on it or something.
I remember last time we adjusted that ordinance, it was something.
It was still about chickens, I
Chicken
think.
issue.
I feel like that's probably a year ago, somewhere around there, maybe a couple years ago now.
I think you probably gotta have some limit on the rabbits, just because I think we get out of hand. So we can always talk with Jordan about if it's possible to adjust that and maybe check some other towns and see what their, what rabbits ordinance is. We don't want to be one issue.
I don't know, just whatever you did enough for me, I don't know how many people have the time for that. I'd imagine they probably have like 2.5 dozen, maybe 18 of that. So you can have like a great population and you harvest them on a regular basis.
So that's what you're looking to do, or is that what you do for other people?
I might do it, no, I don't plan to do it for other people. I guess technically, we're not even done for agriculture, that's what I can say, but, you know, I went there for my chickens, because I had a building that was bigger than 100 square feet. So I had to do it for that, even though I worked for a theater, it doesn't really make sense, but, yeah, they don't like, they approved me, because I had to apply for a variance essentially. And then, as long as you're not like, I guess that's like that's producing them for other people, produce for your personal use, you know, it's the money you can. It's a little tricky, like, because, you know, I told them that we've had people with chickens, and not like past 10 years.
Yeah, started allowing chickens at some point in time, and then actually got the ordinance changed to allow, so.
Looks like it was updated in 2025, so.
I can't remember the last one, but it was wrong there. As of right now, say you're okay for quail, then we'll have to check them. What you know, what's the others. Jody's not here. I assume he's talking about the big hole in the alley behind.
I'm not really sure, John. He's come in and talked to me a couple of times. He said when they redid the road, there's a lip that is hard for him to get his boat in and out of his alley because of some way they fixed it for the neighbor. I'm not really sure. Jeff went down and looked at it, and he was unsure as to what he was referring to also, so I really don't know.
Okay. I'll just give him a call.
Okay.
Let's give them a call, find out, see what the issue is. I saw that there's that big metal thing in the alley, I'm assuming there's a repair being made, is something there.
Yeah, somebody cut it open and we've patched it a couple times, but it keeps sinking. So we're just gonna have to keep patching it until we get it built back up. I think what he may be talking about is when they paved that alley last year, obviously it's a couple inches higher than it used to be because that alley was so old and it all fallen apart. So now his stone in his driveway, it's all, it needs stone in his driveway. So there's probably a lift that tall from his stone to the new asphalt. I don't know. If it's not that, I don't know what he's talking about.
I'll give him a call and see what he's talking about. Dave?
Yep, basically, I just got the same questions I've had the last few times I've been here. One, I never really got a good answer on the 600-gallon discrepancy on the water bill back when we first changed the meters. And the only reason I bring it up is because the clerk said I used one amount, and when I called down to talk to the deputy clerk, she said I used 600 gallons less. So I need an explanation on why two people in the same office looking at the same information come up with two different answers. Second, I think somebody answered the question about questioning the billing since the new meters are in. It sounds to me like you guys got a bunch of problems with them anyway.
Meters of,
So I guess, yeah, so maybe I was ahead of the curve on that when I asked about it 6-7 months ago. I just
Well, the
got looked
backflow,
into
the
it.
backflow was, that, your one.
That was part of it.
That was fixed because they put new brass.
Yes, we got those
They
issues
were
taken care
supposed,
of.
I think when we voted that, they were supposed to have backflow preventers in all the meters. They were, way I understood it at the time, they were built right in the meter. Is that right, Robert? Or in the center, whatever.
Yeah, so, we're finding out that there was a lot of things that we thought were gonna work a whole lot better than they are right now. So, but as far as the billing issue, I don't know anything about the billing issue. I think you got it straightened out as far as when it's being billed and everything else. No one's being treated any differently.
No, I get it.
So,
And nobody, I never confused them.
yeah. So I know since we've got the new meters, my bill's going up. So
I don't have an issue with that, I just have an issue with.
I think maybe, I'm not sure exactly who you talked to and what the question was. I don't know.
Well, it started out on the 600 gallons, my bill came, and I could see my meter reading on the aisle of water.
Yeah, and I think it
off.
was just because it was actually, the button was pushed the next morning or whatever instead of that day, so.
Well, but on that issue, then when I called down and asked the deputy, she gave me one number and failed me another, which was 600 gallons different. Which I don't understand that now.
Yeah.
Back to what you're talking about, the bill says it's right on the 17th. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. The bill, the hit button don't get hit till the 18th or the 19th. You get billed for more gallons than what you use on the 17th, which if that happens, I'm assuming if you bill a day late, just change the billing date to the 18th and the problem solved.
I think that's all been taken care of now. I think it was just again.
Yeah, it happened 2 or 3 times. It hasn't happened the last
Yeah.
couple months.
I think it's just the learning process of the program and everything else.
And then third, I asked about who's responsible for the trees and the bushes that are hanging over the alley and in the road where vehicles can hit them moving down the road. Never got an answer on that.
I thought,
There's actually a couple of pictures, yeah.
yeah, I thought Jordan was going to, I thought it was the homeowners, but,
Well, what I looked up, it's the homeowners as long as they ain't in the right of way, and you'd be surprised where the town's right of way stops. And a couple of those are pictures, there's one there, John, that has the stop sign completely blocked. Now, I know that didn't happen in a month or two.
no, I'm sure it hasn't.
So, I don't know what the legal repercussions if somebody runs that stop sign, gets in an accident or whatever, but it's probably be tied up in litigation forever.
Yeah, probably.
So what I looked up, the town is responsible, and you got that. Whoever the tree trunk and roots on whatever property that is on, is who's responsible for the maintenance. with the disclaimer, if it's in the town's right of way, then the town's responsible.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea where the right of way's at down, you got a light pole by your building and, Lori up. The right of way for the town actually goes to the front porch.
So,
Everything right back forward.
Matt, when George gets back from vacation, will you talk to him about these and get some clarification on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I will. Jeff and I, we talked about that too, so we'll get with Jordan.
And there's a bunch of them. You know, the country's right bigger.
Where are these two at?
I'm so, yeah.
Well, but we want to get taken care of, so if it's really like.
I don't know where they're at, I can't do.
They're both in Borcat. One's just down from Dave Centerfield.
Okay. Oh, is this the one behind Winsider's house?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I know where that's at, okay. This one is,
That's the one that's, just east of Dave Snyder's, or Dan Snyder, Dave Centerfield's.
okay, alright, so up there around, you know where the one alley is.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
other one's just east of
The one out.
Sounds like me. You know, one else, you're right. Second pole.
Matt doesn't know what Porticat is.
I've never heard that in my life.
I know what that is. Most of the older people know what it is. but Matt sure doesn't know what Porticat is.
Just behind my house.
Good part,
Yeah,
Sal,
yeah.
Okay,
But, just to clarify, once the problem is identified, you know, what I learned from years of working maintenance, you identify the problem, then you gotta put in some kind of proactive plan to make sure it doesn't happen again. So just little clue, maybe somebody should drive around every month and check or something.
Yeah.
That truck car thing, you know, I ain't saying nobody's gonna have an accident, but if they did, they would have a legitimate complaint, so you can't see the sign.
and all those things in the future, just, if you see it, let that know, let Jeff know, that way we can keep track, and then if we have any questions on what.
Yeah, hopefully you get a system in place where that don't happen.
Okay, anything else?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Melissa Norby and I'm with Container
Yes.
Consulting. We've, with the Okra Award officially granted, we've got our grant administration contract that we'd like to present to you this evening for approval. Again, that number was, for our grant administration is 40,000 and then labor standards is 5,000, total of 45. There's 2 copies here. And a reminder that those are able to be paid out of grant and then grant fees because you did the procurement process for it.
Okay, is this something that one of us signs, me sign,
There's a
or we
red,
all have to vote on?
the red flag is where there's for your signature
Okay,
and voting on it would be appropriate.
okay,
If you're right.
I think we all are clear on what it is. So, I'll let you, if you get these, what you do them, and then I'll sign them. No, I think we just vote on each of them once, it's just a contract.
No, it's 2 copies, one for you and one for me.
Oh, just one, okay, I
Yes,
thought it was
okay.
two things.
I'll make a motion that we, accept the agreement for professional grant administration fees for the, IOCRA park project, community development block grant, HUD HUD. In the amount of 40,000 plus 5,000 for the administrative fees.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else?
Motion to close the meeting.
All second, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Thank you.
Very much have on. Take care.
Yeah.